You know, I love studying and researching real history and facts because everything has been built upon a lie like we all know, right? And reading consumes a good portion of my week. And today, I just want to celebrate those valiant Haitian soldiers who fought so bravely in Savannah during the American Revolutionary War by bringing you their story. See, there's a massive monument there dedicated to Saint Domingue soldiers, which is present-day Haiti, who supposedly fought for freedom in the American Revolution, right? Fairy tale. Those men were not fighting for American freedom. They weren't heroes, and the empire they fought for treated them like straight trash. Let's talk. Before these men ever sailed to America in 1779, they had a day job back in the French colony of Saint Domingue, and it wasn't about no liberation. They were free men of color. In order to maintain a brutal plantation system where melanated people outnumbered whiteys 10-1, the French used a classic divide and conquer strategy. They drafted these free men into the ruthless paramilitary police force whose entire purpose was hunting down escaped slaves and crushing rebellions. Many of these men were wealthy land executives who owned slaves themselves. You think they volunteered for the American Revolution out of the goodness of their hearts? They did it to prove to the French king that they were loyal enough to keep their own elite slave-owning status. Enter the architect of this disaster, French Admiral Comte d'Estaing. He was an arrogant YT aristocrat who openly despised colonial troops. When these 500 men landed in the Georgia swamps, d'Estaing didn't treat them like elite troops. He handed them shovels. For weeks, they were used as basic manual labor, forced to dig siege trenches and haul multi-ton cannons through malaria-infested mud. They were treated as expendable muscle while the YT French regular regiments were saved for the glorious front lines. But then, d'Estaing's entire plan fell apart. Because if y'all don't know by now, the French and them Haitians got their asses kicked. The assault on October 9th was a tactical clown show. D'Estaing marched his army straight into a swampy fog, completely blind right into a British trap. Within minutes, British cannons packed with grape shot were shredding boys up. Complete slaughter. The YT French regular army and the American militia completely panicked and ran for their lives. That is the exact moment the French command ordered the Haitian troops to lock bayonets, stand in the line, and take the shots, strategically used as a human shield to buy time so the more valuable YT army could escape back to their ships. That's the story. And when the survivors got back to Haiti, the colonial government systematically stiffed them, breaking the promises of freedom and bounties they used to get them on the boats. Modern historians love a neat bow, so they invented a myth. They claim this failed battle was the cradle of the Haitian Revolution and tell you a young King Henry Christophe was there as a teenage drummer boy. But based on his actual birth records, he was younger. It's an absolute lie. That entire story traces back to one single completely unreliable source, a 19th century French writer named Sylvic de Gastine. De Gastine was a notorious sensationalist who had a massive reputation for fibbing and also inventing dramatic stories out of thin air just to sell pamphlets. He completely manufactured the drummer boy myth over a decade after Christophe had passed away to give the Haitian king a cinematic backstory, and historians blindly repeated it for 200 years. The actual military rosters prove Christophe was never there. A few hundred broken survivors from a failed battle didn't spark a revolution of 500,000 people. In fact, when the Haitian Revolution actually started in 1791, many of these exact same elite veterans who were in Savannah formed their own units to fight against the enslaved rebels to protect their wealth. Welcome to Storytime.